The oceans are changing. They're moving away from La Nina. El Nino is knocking on the door and trying to do so aggressively. Our weather pattern across the country remains very active. So let's watch the animation over the next 10 days roughly. And you're going to see a lot of shower activity out over the west. And then we'll watch for developing systems occasionally across the central plains, moving through the Midwest and upper Midwest. This animation, again, goes out through roughly the next 10 days or so. But the focal points will be the western U.S., as well as the southern and eastern U.S. as far as most impactful weather. For the south and the east, we're going to be looking at chances for severe weather, damaging thunderstorms, tornadoes, hail, wind, those kind of things. For the west, we're going to be looking out for flooding issues as well as wind issues. So that animation stays relatively active for the next week to 10 days. Over the next week, so going through the weekend, bullseyes of water, you guessed it, out across the east and out across the west. Some of these areas around St. Louis, Memphis, Nashville, down to Jackson, up towards Cincy will be 2.5 to 3 inches, and we'll have more than that across coastal areas out there along the west coast as well as in the Sierras. Now, just the next 3 days, most of the waterfalls across the southwest, hit and miss areas over the plains and the east, and as well as the Midwest, and that's going to be a combination of rain and snow across the country. Just in terms of snow, there will be an impact, especially the Rocky Mountain West and the northern plains into the upper Midwest. Travel delays possible there. As far as snowfall totals, kind of looking at a swath here throughout the upper Midwest and the plains, that'll be kind of on average about 4 to 8 or so, maybe some higher totals embedded within there. And then as you look at the Rocky Mountain West, I'm going to zoom the map in because it's impressive throughout the Sierras. Still quite a bit more snowfall on the way, approaching 4 feet in cases. These are the San Juans in southwestern Colorado. Possibility of nearing 4 feet of total snowfall there. The Wasatch Range running throughout Utah will be approaching 14 to 20 inches, so nearing the 2-foot mark, and quite a bit of snowfall continues throughout the Rocky Mountain region. Great water resources as we get into spring, the spring melt, and help fueling the Colorado River system. I'll have more on that Colorado River system, kind of the current status and the outlook, in a future video coming out this week. This is the Daily Shower. I'm Matt Makens. It's meant to grab your attention to the headlines coming your way as we go beyond the next 3 days. Biggest headlines will be flooding possible down in the mid-Mississippi, 25th through the 31st. Flooding possible the 25th through 31st into areas of California as well as Nevada. Very healthy supply of water coming in. As far as wind, very windy the 25th to 28th across the east, and at times coastal areas, especially around San Francisco, could be bombarded with very strong wind going forward. Impactful cold on the way, the 25th to the 29th, covers the Rocky Mountain West. Kind of a similar setup to where we've been so far in February and early March, is to have that bullseye of cold out of the west. And then finally, in terms of snowfall, heavy snowfall from the Cascades into the Sierras, the 25th to 28th. Slight risk of heavy snowfall in the Rockies, from the central and northern Rockies down into Colorado, 25th to the 28th there. And another chance for some very heavy snowfall the 26th and the 27th across the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes region. Again, this is a Daily Shower. Matt Makens here, just meant to give you the weather headlines, the data as I see it, without the hype, just to let you know where the most impactful weather will be. If you like the format of this video, let me know. Leave your feedback in the comments section below, and don't forget to check out this most recent video on La Nina. She's done, so what's next?